This is an ongoing story that's been going on since the early part of 2024 that I've been covering on the channel, and just earlier this morning, there was more information that came out about the two French leakers that were arrested in Japan, put on trial earlier this morning, and they revealed the man behind the curtain. The man that you can just quote-unquote say was the Kingpin of manga leaks. AKA, when you see manga leaks of One Piece, Jujutsu Kaisen, Sakamoto Days, Back in the Past, Black Clover, etc., the individual responsible is DBS Hype, an account that I have seen often and I had no idea was so intertwined with leak culture to such a degree, the main head honcho, that honestly, when I saw this information come out earlier this morning, it kind of blew me away. And, the reaction is basically what people are saying right here. What do you mean this man is basically the Kingpin? And it's ironic that the person that legitimately is responsible for leak culture, or kind of helping leak culture grow to the point it is right now, it's someone with a Goku Black profile picture. It's, as I've said so many times in the past, sometimes reality is more unbelievable than fiction. And that is exactly the case that we have going on right now, because this is legitimately hilarious, but it also is just very shocking information. So let's get headfirst into this. Let's talk about what's going on here. How did we get here, where we're at now, what's going to happen, etc. So one thing in particular, I guess, let's talk about DBS Hype, aka the individual responsible that was literally snitched on by the French leakers, the individuals that are currently arrested in Japan and being prosecuted. They leaked out the main head honcho distributing the leaks to everyone else. So basically, anyone that posts leaks for One Piece, Jujutsu Kaisen right now, are potentially getting them from this man right here. And it's wild stuff. And when you search them up on Google, you'll obviously see their accounts appear right here. You'll see his one account has 351,000 followers. The other account has over 100,000 followers. Probably a backup of some kind. But when you click on these, this is what you're greeted with. You're greeted with, this account doesn't exist. You can see their handle here. It's the same handles that you see right here. The exact same handles. And the reason for that is because when this news broke out earlier this morning, obviously, if DBS Hype is the Kingpin, he needs to cover his tracks. He needs to go underground, so to speak. So, deleting your account is definitely the move to be, or to do, so to speak. Now, to be fair, I'm willing to bet you Twitter has archives and records of accounts and their posts, etc. I doubt it's completely gone. They could easily find out, information if, let's say, the Japanese court for so-and-so subpoenaed, Twitter to find out what they have or whatever. That definitely could be possible, I assume. I mean, I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know, but I do feel like, at least the records are definitely there, even if you delete your account. Twitter definitely probably has those to some degree. So, it makes sense why someone delete their account, but does this fully protect them? No. They're just trying to, erase their footprint, so to speak, as quick as possible. Now, with that being said, though, one thing that is interesting about this whole ordeal, though, is that to find out that someone like this is actually the main head honcho, I was really surprised. I did not realize that of all individuals that get the leaks would be someone from the Dragon Ball community. It really is the OG, ain't it? Like, Dragon Ball's community is the OG of just leak culture. Now, speaking of leak culture, let's get into that, okay? So what is this effectively going to do? Now that obviously DBS Hype has went underground, so to speak, to try to hide, does this fundamentally mean that, leaks are not going to happen no more? No. Leaks are always going to happen, and I think, what Sandman says here is actually fundamentally true. He talks about how leak culture, for the most part, it's never going to disappear. Like, he actually made a post earlier, I could probably find it here. He talks about how, DBS Hype, the leader of manga leakers, was well known among Dragon Ball fans, but he just deactivated his account. That said, it is unlikely that the act of posting spoilers will disappear. And this is very true. I mean, Sandman is obviously putting it more in an optimistic viewpoint, saying that they might, there is a possibility they could, but no, leaks and spoilers are never going to disappear from just the community, because it is so ingrained in the community at this point, it's not possible. And there's just so much money to be made from it, it's not going to stop. It's like, as I've talked about in my previous follow-up videos, The money that is to be had and made in leaking manga chapters to other people is insane. Like, it is just a business. It's not right. I'm not saying it's right or a good thing, but they do it and it's money. It prints money for them, so to speak. So, with that considered, people are going to look at that. They're going to see a hole open up, so to speak, in the business chain of leaking culture, and they're going to try to fill in the gaps. New people are going to do that. That's basically the case, and even if, let's say, DBS Hype, has to go underground and he no longer can be a part of the culture whatsoever, someone new will replace him. Or they'll just change their name or something and, they'll continue at it. But whatever the case may be, it is honestly interesting just seeing how much Japan is cracking down on this information. Because, leaks have definitely gotten to an all-time high as of late. Even I talk about leaks nowadays. And if you want my personal opinion on leaks, I'm going to give this before I go any further. Once the leaks are out there and they're online and I see them literally trending on social media, it's free game. I'm going to talk about them because it's like, I'm going to see them. I can't help but see them. I'm so ingrained in anime and manga culture because it's literally stuff I do every single day. I talk about anime and manga. I'm going to see it. I'm going to see it, especially if it's about series that I actively follow. And so because of that, I can't really avoid it. And so I just, I also talk about leaks or I look at leaks, etc. when I'm browsing social media. And the thing is, it's just become so common now. You have people that actually read manga chapters through the leaks instead of actually reading the chapters. Like, it's honestly wild. Like, because I want to be honest with you, I've done this sometimes in the past for different manga I just don't actively, talk about, but then I go and read the chapters later on. But basically, there's been a few times I've done in the past, like in the past year, to where there's leaks that come out for a certain chapter, and I read the chapter leaks, and I don't even bother actually reading the said chapter. That's wild. And if I'm doing that, I know there's probably a lot of people that have done that as well. And I'm willing to bet you mostly a lot of people that follow leaks are probably doing that. They don't even go out of their way to probably read the chapter. That's wild stuff. What do you think about it? I really think that's become a lot more common over time, and I feel like that could also lead to the reasons why some people might not get the full context of a chapter or understand certain details because obviously they're just reading early leaks and spoilers of a chapter. But anyways, with all that being said though, it's crazy just to see how far this story has went because it's been going on for a while. You can see all the data and stuff collected here. You can see the post here from, Mia up here for, JJK with Gojo, and it's very clear that this is something that Japan takes very seriously, and with anime and manga obviously getting a lot more popular as of late in these past few years, especially thanks to COVID, it's clear that they want to protect their property. I think that Japan, and all intents and purposes, they're in the right for this. I think anyone that's upset that Japan is cracking down on this doesn't understand that it is in their legal right to protect their products and company and to allow their offers to make money. I think that anyone that is upset that these leakers, etc., are technically facing justice doesn't understand the full picture. Now, to be fair, they probably understand this. The leakers and stuff that do this, like DBS Hype and all that, they know the risk because obviously, as I said, it's lucrative. It's a lot of money in the thing, but they don't want to, if they get caught, obviously the money's gone. It's a risk and reward, so to speak, for them. But, yeah, it's honestly insane to see just this story ramping up and Japan taking more drastic measures. They now have basically 2 French individuals actually being tried in court right now. And as this continues to happen, more information comes out, I feel like it's going to get messy. You're probably going to see a lot of leakers and stuff probably start to eat each other, trying to potentially not get caught, so to speak. We have definitely seen some mix-up as of late where a lot of people went underground and deleted their accounts and hid themselves. We've had stuff from the Oshinoko community. Obviously, we've had stuff from the JJK community. There's been some stuff in, the One Piece community. There's a lot of individuals that have legitimately just shut down their stuff to erase themselves from the internet because they're actually worried about everything going down. But yeah, I wanted to talk about this. Very fascinating stuff. What do you think about the Kingpin of manga leaks being a Dragon Ball fan and having a Goku Black or Goku Rose profile picture of all things? Do you think it's ironic, or do you think that the individual will come back in some shape or form? Let me know in the comments below. I'm legitimately curious to see what you all think. But yeah, this is just something I wanted to cover briefly because I saw this and I already covered it a few times and I wanted to give an update on it. But thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy my content and you want more of my videos to appear in your subscription feed, do leave me a like. It does help me out a lot. And with that, I love you guys. Be safe, stay healthy. Chibi out.